How do you like to finish the college basketball season paying under $30 per week? Between now and Selection Sunday on March 12th, there's still tons of regular season college basketball action to go. Plus, all of the conference tournaments and Wager Talk and Sports Memo are announcing their March Madness Bonanza special that will include the rest of the college basketball regular season, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament through the national championship, and any plays released in the NIT or CBI tournaments. That's right, from Monday, February 27th through Monday, April 3rd, there are 5 full weeks of hoops action, which breaks down to under $30 per week. Sign up for this promotion now on your favorite handicapper's homepage and get the rest of the college basketball season through the national championship in Houston on Monday, April 3rd, plus all non-March Madness tourneys, including the NIT and CBI, all for only $149. That's under $5 a day for one of the best betting experiences in sports. Some call March Madness the most exciting time in sports betting, so act fast as the March Madness Bonanza special is only available for a limited time. Grab your favorite college basketball handicapper, or perhaps add 2 or 3 college hoops experts to make this March Madness not only exciting, but also profitable. No coupon is needed. Just head to the homepage of the handicapper of choice and lock the $149 price in now. As the earlier you sign up, the more days you receive.
Hey guys, welcome in here to Wager Talk TV for another episode of Puck Time. I'm, of course, Andrew McGinnis. I have Carmine Bianco with me and the Prez and his usual Wednesday spot. We are here to break down 4 games for you today, best bets at the end of the show. And there's lots of stuff to break down here and discuss as far as the trades and all that good stuff going on in the NHL. But I'll tell you what, guys, as much as I love doing this show, as much as I love, handicapping and making bets on these games every single day, I just cannot wait for the playoffs at this point. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be awesome. And, the trade deadline is really just giving me that spark for the rest of the season to get me through the playoffs. And I'm just super excited by it. I'm sure all of you guys are as well. Make sure you guys are talking in the live chat. Comment below which teams you were impressed with by their trades so far. Definitely interested in what you guys have to say. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and commenting every single day. The games we're going to discuss today, we have the Maple Leafs visiting the Oilers, Rangers, Flyers, Devils, Avalanche, and the night game here with the Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights. Should be some great games to break down. Looking forward to it. Pretty good night for me last night as far as the hockey picks are concerned. It was pretty even night as far as hoops, but the big one does go down. Man, college hoops, the way it goes, just free throws. I mean, I feel like, guys, the way to go for basketball is just betting these overs because in a matter of 2 minutes, they can score 25 points just on free throws alone. But, Carm, I'll throw it to you, man. It was a pretty good night in the NHL last night, but we have a big card today.
Yeah, first of all, Andrew, to your point of I just want the NHL playoffs to start. Screw you, McInnes. Come on, we have 35 more days of regular season. And with all these trades, this is absolutely awesome. Look at the games we saw last night. The Boston Bruins, like I said yesterday in the show, I had a lean on the Bruins and a lean on the under. It obviously splits. The Bruins get completely outshot. The XG numbers are all in favor of Calgary, but that's going to happen when you get outshot by, I think, almost 30 shots on goal more for the Calgary Flames. But as I mentioned, you need, I just don't look for a reason to get in front of the Boston Bruins when you're trying to make a bet until they show some regression. This team is winning. Linus Ullmark is having a phenomenal season. I wish he was still in Buffalo. You need a goalie that in the playoffs is going to steal you a game and is going to stop you from losing a game himself, like what yesterday is, right? So basically I'm saying this guy was unbelievable yesterday. But I wanted to say 2-2 in NHL yesterday, 2-0 in soccer. So it was a winning day overall. But it should have been better, man. So I gave out on the show yesterday, the show best bets before I go to Prez. Sam Reinhart, over 3.5 shots. He's got 2 early into the second period. He gets a short-handed breakaway, and misses the net. I don't need him to score. Just hit the net, a short-handed clear breakaway, and he completely misses the net. And that was the last attempt he had on goal. And instead of the shots on goal hitting, the shots on goal losing. And that was one of my client plays I gave you guys as the show best bets. I wasn't happy about that, but I digress. We move on and we look at today's card. We have 4 really good games. Toronto, Edmonton, New York, Rangers, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Colorado, Carolina, Vegas. All these teams vying for playoff spots with the exception of the Philadelphia Flyers. Prez, how was your night?
Well, how was my night? We started our playoffs in hockey last night. We're a bunch of old guys who play in an 18-year-old plus league. So we play a bunch of young guys, and we have the two best players in the league on our team. I scouted them myself. So we're like 10 old guys who can barely skate and two monsters, and neither of them were able to make it out last night. So we started the playoffs with a horrific loss. Other than that, I lost my NHL play last night. I was on the under in the Winnipeg game. Amazing hockey game. My God. And shame on Winnipeg. Also want to make a quick mention that this is my last puck time for a month. So guys, please don't forget about me. I will be skiing in Whistler for 28 days, which is insane. This old man's legs is going to struggle. Rolling in NBA and college basketball. Super excited about baseball around the corner, and really just so damn intrigued by all these trades. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, the amount of teams loading up, and Carolina hasn't even done anything. So I got to assume Carolina's going to do something as well. They should trade for Sebastian Aho. It would be great to have both of them on the same team. Don't you think? Like, seriously, what are the odds of two guys named Sebastian Aho playing in the NHL? Amazing. Anyway, I'm excited to be here. Guys, do me a favor. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. It would be greatly appreciated. And also give these two boys likes. They're freaking awesome.
Oh, we appreciate it, Prez. And yeah, I think the Carolina Hurricanes, I don't know what they're doing, but there's been lots of jokes going around from media members saying, is Jesse Puljujarvi the only trade they're going to make? I mean, it feels like the GM's he's been asleep. The GM has been asleep. He hasn't been answering his phone. I mean, his phone might be dead. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's weird seeing these teams go all in this year when last year I think there was really the better opportunity, but the East is definitely stacked. And speaking of the East, the Maple Leafs are going out west in Western Canada to take on the Oilers. Let's jump right into that game right away here. We have the Maple Leafs minus 125, Edmonton plus 105 here. Total at 6.5 in this one, as we would expect when these two teams meet. And really quick, we are talking about trades, but this is relevant to this game. I did want to pull something up as far as the Leafs are concerned. I thought it was pretty cool to look at something here. Guys, this is what the Maple Leafs have done as far as in and out. I mean, the fact that the three guys they got rid of, Sandin, Anderson, and Engvall, and they get Gustafsson, Shen, Lafferty, McCabe, Achuri, O'Reilly. I mean, it's unbelievable what this Maple Leafs team has done. Kyle Dubas has pretty much shoved his chips all the way in, but without giving up Matthew Nyes and all kinds of prospects. I had to mention that and wanted to bring that up on the show because realistically, they haven't given up that many roster spots, but they've created lots of new faces and lots of opportunities and brought lots of toughness into that team. So the way I look at it for this team, they know they're playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's all about getting that chemistry going early on here over the next kind of 30, 35 days here in the NHL. But my 2 cents here in this game, the Oilers are off a game against the Boston Bruins, a game that obviously when you're playing the Boston Bruins, it's hard to score goals in bunches. And I think that this Maple Leafs team has proven to be a pretty solid defensive team, but I believe the Oilers will be a little more of a track meet style of hockey game than what the Maple Leafs have faced recently. And especially off that loss, they will be motivated and ready to go at home. So as much as I have seen the Maple Leafs improve their defense, and they have turned some of these games into unders where they used to be big time over games, I do see this one being an over here, over 6.5. When these teams meet with that much talent on the ice, it's hard for me to look towards the under. So I'll go towards the over 6.5 here. Carm, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Andrew, I think I'm leaning the same way. It's just eerie sometimes, or the thing that comes to my head is when you look at a game like this and you think it's going to be a seven, because sometimes when these teams played last season, and I'm surprised that this is the first meeting between these two this year. They're only going to play twice, home and away. But the fact that we saw sevens last year when these two teams played, and then you look at 6.5 and you think this is too easy. It's got to be over. Look at Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Matthews, Marner, Tavares, O'Reilly, and then it turns into one of those 2-1 type of games.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm leaning Toronto. I actually like Toronto in this game, and you're getting a good price on them at 125. Toronto worries me. And it worries me because, Andrew, I'm used to them going out in the first round each and every year. And these deals they're making are good ones. The last year when they were losing Tampa Bay, and I said it about a month ago, the Leafs needed to improve their bottom six. Tampa's bottom six was so much better. You had Colton, Paul, Hagel, and they completely outplayed. It was like Engvall, Kampf, Nylander was on that line. Who else did the Leafs have out there? Case, Blackwell, Spezza. Those aren't tough guys. The Leafs have picked up some guys who, even if they don't score, are going to be physical. You look at picking up Luke Schenn. Luke Schenn has the most hits of any NHL player this season, 266 hits. They're getting physical because they know they're going to play Tampa in the playoffs. But these guys are coming in now, and I think it's going to help the Leafs. I think, and I talked about it last year. I don't want to go too long on this game, but I talked about last year that Tampa normally, once they know they're making the playoffs, they wind down in the last 30 days of the NHL season. I don't think they're going to do that this year because I think the importance of them winning home ice over the Leafs will could very well decide that series. If Toronto gets home ice, Toronto's going to get out of the first round of the playoffs this year. And the other good thing, if you're a Toronto fan, is the Leafs do not have a cupcake schedule to end the season. So they're going to be playing some tough teams to close out. Their last 5 games come against the Boston Bruins in Boston, then home to Montreal. You'll be here for that one, Andrew. Then they play at Florida, at Tampa, at New York Rangers. These are all teams that are going to be fighting for not for playoff spots, for playoff positioning. So Toronto's not going to get a night off. It's literally going to prepare them for playoff hockey a week before the playoffs start. So anyways, getting back to this game, I kind of agree with you on the 6.5. I'm not going to get to the window on it, but I am going to get to the window on the Leafs minus 125. Prez?
Well, firstly, I love the trades the Leafs made. They've become an incredibly heavy team overnight, and it actually helps them against both Tampa Bay and Boston, which I think are going to be bruising series. I mean, I just can't, like what you were saying, Andrew, I cannot wait for the playoffs to begin. Anyway, guys, look, the last 3 times these two teams have played, it's gone under the total of 6.5. Toronto 4-2, Toronto 5-1, Edmonton 3-2. Toronto is dominating this Edmonton team. This Toronto team's won their last 2 against Edmonton, and 6 of their last 6 of their last 7. I like the over as well in this game, but I also like Edmonton here. And I know Toronto, as I said, has dominated Edmonton, but man, there's just been so many moves made by this Toronto team. It's going to take a moment in time for this team to click, to gel, to find the right lines. I have no idea who's playing, who's not. Edmonton is up of 2 losses in a row. I think it's a good spot. Look, you know how high I am on Toronto, flat out. But I think this is a good spot for Edmonton. This Edmonton, they've lost 6 of their last 8. They've got to get rolling. Toronto starts a road trip. They're heading out west. I don't think it's a good spot for the Leafs. I think they're excited. I think they like the trades. I think that these trades are going to help, but I don't know if they're going to help tonight. And I'll tell you flat out, I wouldn't want to play Edmonton after 2 losses. Is Ekholm playing tonight?
I don't think so.
Sure.
Let me check here. I don't
think so either.
Let me see. He looks like they have slotted him in. I guess he wasn't traveling too far.
Right.
I think he might actually be in, but I agree with you. I mean, it's exciting we're talking a lot about these Leafs trades, and I feel like it's deservedly so based on, where they rank in the league right now and stuff. But as you mentioned, Prez, this is going to be an angry and motivated Oilers team here at home off some losses that they're going to want to bounce back from. So one thing to point out as well for this over that I have a feeling that we're going to see, like, I've always said this, and I think this is the best Leafs team, 100%. Everybody can agree that we've seen in years, that the biggest problem is physicality. But I think we can all agree that some of these new players, especially Luke Schenn, when he comes to the roster, I don't think he'll be playing tonight, but Lafferty and even McCabe, I think McCabe will be hitting anything that moves tonight. Anything that even has a movement, he'll be looking to crush to make that first impression to his bench, to his coaching staff, to the fans. And sometimes that causes penalty troubles, right? Sometimes that causes.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that sometimes the aggressiveness can lead to power plays. So it could be a very physical game between the Oilers and the Leafs. You agree with that, Prez?
Yeah, I mean, what came to mind was Leonardo at a Sweet 16. Jake McCabe hitting on everyone. I'm with you, bro.
It happens.
Didn't get my joke.
Prez,
No,
I have
didn't get my joke. No,
I have no idea what
nothing.
you're talking about.
Leonardo
Carm,
DiCaprio at a Sweet 16.
Let's go. Let's head to another game.
Yes.
I actually thought that was a decent made up on the spot joke.
Yeah. Hitting anything that moves. I'm actually mad at myself. That flew over my head. Let's move on to the next one. The Rangers and Flyers, going to go right to you, Prez. I want to sound excited and introduce the Patrick Kane trade, but everybody in the world pretty much knew he was going to go to the Rangers. It was just a matter of when. And they finally made that happen, and they pretty much got a bag of pucks in return, the Blackhawks, which was even more shocking. But Patrick Kane is an official member of the Rangers. I did think that he was supposed to make his debut with them, but it looks like he won't be making his debut
Thursday
until
night
their
against
next
Ottawa.
game. Yeah, Thursday night against Ottawa. So Rangers minus 210 here. Philadelphia plus 175. Total is at 6. What are your thoughts here, Prez?
Well, look, for me, Philadelphia is a bet against team moving forward, period. They really played above their heads for the first half of the season, and I think we're going to see them just completely fall apart. We got the New York Rangers in regulation tonight. It's not that big a number. I don't see any other way to bet this game. The Rangers did win their last game 5-2 against the Kings, but before that, they won 4 in a row. And, this team, like every other team in the East, is in a dogfight. Philly is just no good. I'm going to make this quick. I don't know how you can't bet the Rangers in regulation tonight.
The Rangers have to be feeling it right now. And sometimes, Carm, even if that player isn't suiting up for the team that night, they're saying, you know what? My GM is going in. He's not just picking up Tarasenko. He just went out and got Kane.
Yep.
It's time that we take all these games seriously. So I agree with Prez. And, I don't lay minus 210s, but it almost feels like this 210 is something that isn't what it should be. I don't know. You tell me, Carm,
money
what
line.
do you think?
As a money line, Andrew, you're 100% right. That's great value on the money line. Anyway, I appreciate all the shout outs in the chat room who actually understood my Leonardo joke. Sorry, Carm.
Sure. No problem. I guess you're going to me, Andrew? All right. Well, first things first. I agree with Prez on the fact I think Philly's a play against team, and they did play over their heads. I have a futures bet for myself and, of course, for my clients on Philly's team points under 73.5, and they're sitting at, I think, 56 right now. They need 18 points in their last 21 games. It's almost a point a game. I'm hoping they go on a nice long 6 or 7 game losing streak, and we can forget about that. But they're almost there already. They've lost. You look at them. I think they've lost 7 of the last 8 at home. You look at some of their numbers, and they're playing so well under Tortorella. But I think at some point you just kind of give up, and I think that's where the Flyers are right now. They won that game. They would be on an 8-game losing streak if it wasn't for Urson going into Calgary and stealing that game for them in goal. And he was 6-0 at one point, and then the Devils completely smashed them on the weekend, beating them 7-0 and dealing his first loss. They were outscored 16-4 in their last 3 losses. And if you want to go back, putting that Calgary game aside and look at their last 7 losses, they've been outscored 34-12 in these 7 losses. That's bad. You're losing. You're allowing on average 5 goals a game, which takes me to the New York Rangers team total. Right now, it's 3.5 minus 130. And I talked about the Dallas Stars the other day on taking the team total with them at 3.5 because it was low. And then Andrew tells me by game time, it had shot up to like minus 180. I see almost the same thing happening here, that you can grab the team total at DraftKings right now, 3.5 minus 130, because I think as the day progresses, people are likely going to find or look at other ways of betting this game. And we'll look at the team total and they'll look at the way the Flyers are playing and say, let me take the team total of 3.5. They get 4 goals. They win this game and I win my bet. And you're laying 130. If it hits 150, 160, you can't take it anymore. But at 130, I'd say take the team total here on the Rangers.
I think that's a good way to look at it as well. That's what I was going to mention, Carm. Why not just take the Philadelphia Flyers out of the picture? I think this is a good opportunity to take a look at that. It would shock me if New York wins this game and scores, less than 4 goals, quite honestly, and especially with that stacked power play they do have. A lot of times we talk about streaks for players being on as far as their shot prop is concerned. And I'm not as much a series history type of guy, but I thought I'd mention this. Artemi Panarin has hit over on his shots on goal in 4 of his last 5 games against Philadelphia. He's been a scoring machine against Philadelphia in his career. His number is set at 2.5. We're getting a great number at, I think, just around minus 110 to the over for his shots on goal prop tonight, guys. And Philadelphia ranks 29th in the league in shots on goal allowed per game. So my shots on goal prop for today on this game is Artemi Panarin over 2.5 shots on goal. And one thing about this Rangers team right now, because they have so much talent, there's going to be a lot more distributing of who gets the shots, who gets some action, which is why I feel like we have to be careful with betting shots on goal props with these guys, because they might have 9 guys with 2 shots and nobody goes over their 2.5, So I would be very careful with that, but I am going to take a look at him over his shots on goal, as well as that team total over 3.5 that Carmine mentioned. I do like that one quite a bit there. Hard to see this team, not put up a fight, not score many goals against a team like Philadelphia right now. Also, I don't want to take too long on this, but I'll tell you what, kind of an interesting hedge when you're playing team totals that I've realized is, if you want to, you can take Carter Hart's save prop over as well. Like if you have a 4% play on Rangers team total over, you could take a shot with Carter Hart, and a lot of times both those will happen. You'll see a goalie stand on his head, but his team still lets him down. And allows in 4 goals. So let's move on to the next game, though, with the Devils and Avalanche. We have 2 really good games here to finish off the show. Devils and Avalanche here. I mentioned it last show, Carm. This Avalanche team, the healthier they get, the better they're playing. And right now, McKinnon and Rantanen, the top guys, are acting as the top guys, playing very well for them. And really, they didn't really need to be healthy all year long. You think back to when Tampa Bay won their first Stanley Cup. As you mentioned before, they kind of cruise through the regular season, and then come playoff time, there's a click. So I've been hearing people say that the Avalanche can't do it again this year. I disagree, because I feel like they're just waiting for that playoffs again. And once they get there, that's all they're going to be concerned about. But of course, the trade with Timo Meier, Carm, what did you think about the addition of a great power forward like Timo Meier to the Devils?
Yeah, I like I said, I just think these teams in the East are they're just bringing in players. The East are winning these trades, and they're just beefing up for the playoffs, where they're scoring, where there's physicality, ice time. It's unbelievable, the moves that are happening, and I get why you and Prez want the playoffs to come. I remember the last time these teams played, and it was in Arizona, and I wish we had the clip of me, but I will tell you what I said. My lean in that game was, guys, I don't know how you can't take the over in this game. There is no way these teams are playing a 1-0 game. And then the game finished 1-0 for the New Jersey Devils with a third period goal. Literally, the thing I said could not happen happened in that game. And Andrew, I'm reversing roles. I'm going to the under here just because the Avs are playing well. They put on such a great defensive performance against the Vegas Golden Knights, the Calgary Flames prior to that. Not only they're winning, they're not allowing goals. 0 against Vegas, 1 against Calgary, 1 against Winnipeg. You got to go back to that barn burner against Edmonton where it was a 6-5. You can draw a line through that. But then 1 against the Blues and 2 against Minnesota Wild, which I think that might be the ceiling for the Minnesota Wild as far as scoring goals. I like even though the over is shaded in this game, I like the under 6 here. I think the Devils play their typical road game, I think. That 7-0 win against Philadelphia, it was because of Philadelphia. It's an anomaly. This isn't a team that I think is going to score 7 goals or 6 goals or even 5 on a regular basis. They're gonna start getting ready for playoff hockey, and this is a playoff hockey type game tonight. So give me the under. Perez?
I'm not with you at all, Carm. Look, I like Colorado in this game. I also like the over in this game. New Jersey, last few games, 7 goals, 4 goals, 2 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals. Colorado, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 3, 3. Both of these teams can score. New Jersey's got a lot of speed. There's going to be space on the ice. No Makar, no Landeskog. 6 to me is a low number here. I could see this game being a 4-3, 5-2 type of game. I also like Colorado tonight. Colorado has won 6 in a row. Now, I don't normally bet teams that have won 6 games in a row, but New Jersey's also playing great. They've won 2 in a row for their last 5. But here we have New Jersey on their first road game of this road trip in the West Coast against probably the only team out of the West that might have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. I don't think New Jersey is nearly as good a team as everybody thinks they are. I see a lot of Chicago Blackhawks circa 15 years ago in this New Jersey Devils team. I think they're a year away from making any noise. And I think Colorado is in a great situation. This team played crappy for the first half of the season. They were out of the playoffs looking in not 3 weeks ago. Here they sit 3 points out of winning the entire conference. I love the fact that the Devils are coming in on a 2-game win streak. If the Devils had lost their last game, I would not touch this game. But I like Colorado tonight, and I like the over, and I have a predicted score of 5-2.
All right. Before I throw it to Andrew, I want to respond, and because you said something, and it's almost a little contradictory, and you can correct yourself. But then we have to throw it to Andrew for his opinion on this game. But when you talked about the Leafs, and you talked about the tools and the goals that teams are scoring, and the totals at 6.5. But then you said, but look at when these teams to get together, and the games are staying under the total. It is 2 very good teams with that are scoring goals against probably teams that aren't playoff bound teams. I don't think you can use that as a metric to say that you're going to play against a good 5-on-5 team like the New Jersey Devils and just blow their doors off and beat them 5-2. Could it happen? Of course it could happen. I'm not discounting your play, but I'm saying it almost seems contradictory. Here we have 2 good teams with some very good players, but teams that are playing well defensively and are very good 5-on-5. So absent of a lot of power plays where both these teams can score goals, if this is one of those games where they get 2 or 3 power plays each, that's not enough to get it over the total unless they do a lot of damage 5-on-5.
Well, I mean, my response to you, Carm, is really simple. I got a 4% play up tonight in the NHL for my clients. It's a total. I'm on a massive run in these plays, and it's not on this game. If I loved this game so much, my clients would be betting it, but they're not. I come on the air. You make me speak about games I'm not betting. I'm giving you my opinions. My opinion is this game goes over, but if you want to bet what I'm betting, please go to Wager Talk and buy my actual plays.
All right. And with that said, Andrew and Prez, I appreciate it, you taking time out of your busy schedule to drop in.
I'm not busy, dude, and I want to be referred to. I want to be referred to as Santa Prez until the gifts until I stop giving gifts every single day and night. I am Santa Prez.
Hey,
and
compared to some of the comments and trolls and stuff that I've been called the past few days, I'd love to be called Santa. So that's probably the best thing you could be called if you're doing videos every day. So that's
Andrew, listen,
that's a
we gotta
blessing
get
in the
your thoughts on
comment
this.
section.
We got to get your thoughts on this, and I apologize about those comments you're getting on Twitter. Those were my burner accounts, and I really had nothing else to do the other day. So, but with that said, give me your thoughts, Andrew, on this game. So, because Prez and I are completely against each other on this one. We're mano a mano. So, break the tie.
Let's make a bet. I will shave my beard
Why?
if it goes under, and you will grow hair if it goes over.
Sure, sounds good.
Carm, I don't know if I've ever seen you grow a beard, grow facial hair. You're always clean shaven. Now that I think about it.
No, he has the juice catcher. What's it called? The juice catcher? What's it called?
If the Sabres don't make the playoffs, the minute the Sabres are eliminated from the playoffs, and guys, we got to go. But if the Sabres don't make the playoffs, I will shave this little guy off. How's that? All right, there you go. Andrew, New Jersey, Colorado. Where are you going?
I mean, look, I will side with the over here. Just based on I have seen some, there are some 6.5s and there are some 6s around. I know that we've seen the Avalanche play better defensively. We have gotten good goaltending from them recently, but right now there's just two teams that are scoring, and I don't want to really step in front of it. I don't know who's going to be the team that wins it. It's like you say, Carmine, that Pavlo says on the show, stoppage time. I don't really care who wins. I just want goals. But this is the best thing. You and I have been narrowing in on these props, cashing tickets on these prop bets. And you know what? The limits at most books for what a lot of people are betting probably, it all cashes the same. And here's one that I have for everybody. Nico Hischier over 2.5 shots on goal. You can get that minus 135. He's gone over in 7 of his last 10 games, 4 of his last 5 games, and not just gone over a tiny bit. We've seen 5, we've seen 6, we've seen 7. And as far as shot attempts goes, we've seen plenty of those as well. This guy gets plenty of ice time. He's averaging around like 19 minutes of ice time per game. And also, he's got a little connection there with Timo Meier, fellow countryman. He knew him when he played actually in the city where I grew up in Halifax. They played junior together. That's Timo Meier. So there's no doubt that they're going to put Thomas Tatar, Nico Hischier, and Timo Meier on the same line. I feel like that's going to be a great line. And Nico Hischier will have that shoot first mentality. I do recommend everybody jumps in on that one with Nico Hischier over 2.5 shots on goal. Let's keep things going here with the Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights. Prez, I mentioned at the start of the show, and you talked about it as well. What are the Carolina Hurricanes doing waiting around? Because, I liked them over the past few years. They were my team I kind of picked to do well in the playoffs, and I love that they're built as a playoff team. They play really defensively, but they haven't made any moves at all, and you can't be just comfortable with that lineup. It's a decent lineup, but now you play a Vegas team here tonight. You're on the road. You're minus 140 favorites. How do you see this game tonight, Prez?
Brother, before I get into that, I just want to make a comment. Mike Shepard wrote, I really can't stand Prez. The show would be so much better without him. Mike, I agree, man. I mean, flat out, I don't know what else to say. This show is incredible. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday is clearly the weekday. And I'm sorry that you hate on me. There is something called the phases of Prez. The first time you meet me, I'm a complete narcissistic dickwad that you hate. Don't worry, man. Ask Andrew. By the time you get to phase 10, you know how kind and generous I am, what a warm-hearted guy I am, how loyal I am to my friends. So just stick with me, man. You'll make it through the phases. It's okay. It's all good. As for Carolina and Vegas tonight, my brother, I like the under in this hockey game. 6 is the total. Look, as far as Carolina goes, dude, I think this team went from a Stanley Cup contender to in the last 3 days. Carolina has gone under the total 4 in a row. Vegas has gone under the total 2 in a row. I think the only way Vegas wins games moving forward is if they keep the score low. This Vegas team is desperate for a win. They've lost 2 in a row. I think we're going to see a 3-2 hockey game. I don't know who's going to win. I would probably lean towards Vegas, but I like the under.
All right, Prez looking towards the under here. Carolina in Vegas taking on the Golden Knights. We saw Carolina, they won 4 or 5 straight games. And I guess the term flat spot must have been real because the game they lost to break their winning streak, Carm, was against the Anaheim Ducks. So I guess the term letdown can be applicable sometimes here. But what do you think, Vegas and Carolina? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, he was
Apologies,
swearing
guys.
at me.
I was. I think this is one of those games, honestly, that this is the type of team that gives Vegas fits. A team that knows how to play defense, a team that has a good goalie, and a team that can roll out 3 or 4 lines and give you trouble. I don't, Marco, I can talk to Marco about this, but we'll talk to Brian about this. But, Vegas is up right, they're at the top of the standings right now, 76 points. And all I'm hearing out of Vegas is that Jack Eichel is still a cancer in the dressing room, that people don't like him. I don't know what it is about this guy. He went through that stretch where he wasn't scoring any goals, and then, excuse me, he picked up a goal the other night. But I don't even think Vegas is number 1 in the West right now. I don't even think they're going to win the Pacific. I still believe the Pacific is going to be won by the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, it's that toxic Edmonton Oiler and myself relationship. But I think at the end of the day, I looked at Vegas' schedule, and they got some toughies there. I think Edmonton's schedule is a little easier to close out. With that said, I think Carolina is the perfect team to go into Vegas and beat them. Almost similar to what the Dallas Stars did. In the midst of losing those games, they found a way to go into Dallas with a good goaltending performance, and they stole that one from the Vegas Golden Knights. Colorado got a great performance from their goalie, and they beat Vegas 3-0. I'll lay the little bit of juice here with Carolina and take them to win tonight. They're favored for a reason.
I agree, and I think that Vegas, I just don't think that they can skate with Carolina line for line. Like I mentioned, Carolina doesn't have that many superstars, but they have a steady 3 lines that will make you pay, that can work hard on both ends of the ice, and that's really what makes that team so great. But like I said, a team that I've believed in over the past few years, but if they don't make any moves, I don't know if that team is good enough really to make a run in the East, but we'll see. All I want to say, guys, it'll be hilarious if a Western Conference team wins the playoffs or wins the Stanley Cup now. After all this hype, it would be pretty funny.
I don't know, dude. The Eastern Conference team's going to beat the shit out of each other, brother. I mean, by the time one of these guys makes it there, they could be just haggard old men. Yeah. And Colorado is a really good team.
Listen, it's one of those concerns. We don't know if Colorado's going to make any more moves. They're winning games right now. They may still make a move. I'm surprised, excuse me again, because I don't want us to go over time here. I'm surprised that, surprised and not surprised that we haven't seen any talks about Erik Karlsson for San Jose moving. And now I get it. Yeah. The guy played 27 minutes last night. If there was any talk of him getting traded, much like the Kane one, he probably gets held out of the lineup while they work on a trade so he doesn't get injured. The problem with the Erik Karlsson moving is who is going to eat up that salary? Like in 2019, 2020, he signs that $92 million contract with $53 million signing bonus. 40 of that has already been paid out, but his cap hit is $11.5 million every year with, I think, 3 years or 4 years left on it. Who is going to pick up that cap space if San Jose says we'll move him, but we're not retaining any of his salary? It makes it so much tougher. But you know who can do it? Possibly Colorado if they put Andrew, his name, Landeskog on. If they put him on that sort of the long term where none of his salary counts this year, and in the playoffs they pull the Tampa Bay Nikita Kucherov thing and bring Nikita Kucherov, and they're over the cap space, but it doesn't matter because the playoffs don't matter. And all of a sudden you have another tool for this Colorado Avalanche team. And if it's a cakewalk for them through the Western Conference, they'll play a beat-up team likely in the Stanley Cup Finals and could repeat. That's my little old man yelling at the clouds moment.
Hey, I think that either way, you're gonna be right. And I told you before, you're going to win your Norris Trophy pick. But I did say it to you, Carm, that nobody wants that contract. You know, I think that the GM pretty much hasn't really said much to Carlson. That's what he said to the San Jose Sharks media, because everybody knows, you know, that they'd have to retain a lot of that contract for anybody to be even interested at all. And it's kind of rough. I mean, Carlson came out and said, "Look, guys, we trade a player like Timo Meier. It sucks to see where I am in my career right now." He pretty much said it sucks for him to be playing on the team he's on. Like, he pretty much said that. I'm not happy to be where he is. But anyway, let's get into best bets. And I'll start things off for us this time around. A few NHL plays tonight, but especially props. There are a lot of props that I do like tonight. The shots on goal props are going pretty well for me. But my best bet for the show today is going to be the over 6 in Arizona and Dallas. First and foremost, Arizona, guys, anybody looking to fade them in general tonight, they're 1-19 in their last 20 games on the road. That's pretty ridiculous. But of course, Dallas heavy favorites. I've decided to go towards the over here. Dallas is a team that I think is a solid defensive team with a great goaltender, but they have not been showing that to me lately. So until they do that, I'll take the overs instead of backing them. Their last game against Vancouver finishes 5-4. They've been giving up goals against teams like Chicago and Columbus, which is very unlike them. So Arizona comes to town. I would not be surprised to see Arizona score a couple, but Dallas will be motivated after that loss against Vancouver. I think 6 is a perfectly fine number. No Jacob Chikrin out there for the Coyotes as well. So a really important defenseman will not be in the lineup for the Coyotes. Give me the over 6 here, Arizona and Dallas, for my best bet here on Puck Time. Prez, what do you think here for your best bet, and what do you have for clients?
My brother, I love Colorado tonight, minus the 130. That line is slowly going down. It's minus 128 now. So no rush to bet that play, but I like the Avs tonight as my best bet. As for my clients, I understand this is an NHL show. I have a huge NHL bet tonight. My 4% NHL totals are the most consistent play that I have had in the last 2 years across every single sport. I'm on a 35 wins and 12 losses run in these 4% NHL totals. I have one tonight, but guys, it's all about my hoops. I mean, it's a song. It's all about my hoops. Go da dooba dooba hoops. Anyway, I don't know the song because I'm not cool anymore. But my hoops, I am number 2 in college basketball and NBA combined. I'm like 3 or 4 units below Marco. I'm number 1 in NBA. I'm on a sick run in both of these sports. And I got 4 hoops plays and 1 NHL 4% all over at Wager Talk. Thanks for having me. Guys, we'll see you all first week of April. I will be handicapping all the way through. This is not a vacation. I'm skiing during the day and working at night. Thanks for having me, and we'll see you on Wager Talk today. I'm out.
Awesome. Prez, enjoy. Be safe, my man, and good luck with all your picks. Carm, over to you. What do you have for us? You've been rolling in hockey. What do you have for us? And hopefully no bad beats like that one last night, because that one was crazy, flying over the net. I couldn't believe that either.
Yeah, sorry, the show's been too active, so I haven't had a chance to go into the chat like I normally do and send some messages out. 5% play up in NHL tonight. I'm going to have some player props as well, too, along with a couple other sides that I like. So it should be a very active day. You can get the one day all access. I have a couple soccer plays going today as well, too. And a good day yesterday on the pitch, a sweep. So let's see if we can keep that ball rolling. Andrew, I'm going to go to that Dallas and Arizona game as well, too. I'm going to take Jason Robertson over 3.5 shots on goal, minus 140. He's gone over this total, I think, 20 of the 31 games at home that he's had. Last time Arizona was here earlier this year, earlier this season, 5 shots on goal. He's going to be an active part of this of that offense He's probably going to get some more shifts. They need to start scoring some goals. They need to get out of this mini slump that they are in, and he's probably the guy to lead them. I'm probably going to throw just a few extra bucks on him to score -125 and maybe the first goal of the game at +700. But over 3.5 shots on goal, -140 is your show best bet. Thanks for tuning in.
Love that one. Jason Robertson. I like the over. Carm likes Robertson over on shots. I think both those kind of coincide. So let's cash those tickets, Carm. Prez has Colorado in on the money line here, -130. Should be a great night of NHL betting. We thank all of you guys for watching. I want to thank Carmine, the Prez, and all of you again. And guys, we'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Puck Time.
How do you like to finish the college basketball season paying under $30 per week? Between now and Selection Sunday on March 12th, there's still tons of regular season college basketball action to go. Plus, all the conference tournaments and Wager Talk and Sports Memo are announcing their March Madness Bonanza special that will include the rest of the college basketball regular season, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament through the national championship, and any plays released in the NIT or CBI tournaments. That's right, from Monday, February 27th through Monday, April 3rd, there are 5 full weeks of hoops action, which breaks down to under $30 per week. Sign up for this promotion now on your favorite handicapper's homepage and get the rest of the college basketball season through the national championship in Houston on Monday, April 3rd, plus all non-March Madness tourneys, including the NIT and CBI, all for only $149. That's under $5 a day for one of the best betting experiences in sports. Some call March Madness the most exciting time in sports betting, so act fast as the March Madness Bonanza special is only available for a limited time. Grab your favorite college basketball handicapper, or perhaps add 2 or 3 college hoops experts to make this March Madness not only exciting, but also profitable. No coupon is needed. Just head to the homepage of the handicapper of choice and lock the $149 price in now. As the earlier you sign up, the more days you receive.